I was just so caught up by the dichotomy of it. You know, we live in a digital world, but we're fairly analog creatures.
I want to welcome on stage CEO of Starcom India, Rathi Gangappa.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks, Partha. When I looked at this line, when I stumbled upon it, I was just so caught up by the dichotomy of it. You know, we live in a digital world, but we're fairly analog creatures. And I think almost all of us here today have, to a certain extent, spoken about this, right? How can you be human in this world of data? How can, even with digital transformation, can you create stories that resonate with consumers, right? How can you read data and look at, getting insights out that are really relevant for your consumers and actually make business sense for the brands that you work on, right? So in that sense, just moving on to my first case study, this is for a brand that we handle internally in Starcom. It's called Pharmacy. Most of you would know about it. The best part about the world that we live in, I mean, it's death by data, if I might say so, right? There's so much of gigabyte of data available out there, right? How do you actually read into that data? How do you look at insights from that data and make informed media and marketing decisions, okay, that will help you in your day-to-day work on the brands that you handle, right? And added to that, how do you actually create good solutions or creative solution amongst all of this stack of data that is there, right? So putting it all together, I'm going to use a couple of phrases that all of you would have heard of in terms of full funnel planning, etc. For one of the brands that we have called Pharmacy, and how we actually grew the brand from being a low number 4 or a 5 to actually becoming the number 2 brand and now growing to be the number 1 brand in India, right? Somebody spoke about how not having a proper or a fancy presentation, we are media folks, we have to have lot of data and charts, and thanks Shashi, you understand this, and I think you'll recognize some of this over here. But the best part is, I think, what we did with the brand and how we grew the business. And like I spoke about earlier, about reading signals, looking at data insights from the plethora of digital signals that are available over there. We looked at 3 sources of data, and this is fairly simplistic, but it really led to very good results, business results. The 3 sources of data was actually, trends that were available online on the brand Pharmacy, trends that were available online on the category of pharmacies and pharma, and also looking at the media inputs that have gone in, to influence, something as simple as search index, right? Search indexes of Pharmacy versus, the category per se. And by calibrating it, by optimizing all of this, the media inputs that we put in and analyzing it vis-a-vis the media output, which was, let's say, the search index, we actually arrived at a really good formula in terms of what works for the brand, how we can actually drive business, and how we can actually, grow the business from being a number 4 or a number 5 to a number 2, right? And not only that, it was also about, again, we media folks are very happy with selling impact properties of KBC and IPL, right? But how do we move beyond just a media buy or a media association? And we did an association with KBC for Pharmacy where we actually took, we actually linked the association to a download of the app. We got consumers to participate in KBC and got them to download the Pharmacy app, but we did not stop there, right? We looked at the first party data that we collected with people who had downloaded the app, and we used our proprietary tech platform called Epsilon to actually look at the first party data and create consumer cohorts out of that data and look at the third party that is available across the open web, combine the two and actually help, develop, use cases. For instance, how do we look at people who have diabetes, right? And how do we look at people with chronic illnesses? How do we get them to come back to our site again and again, right? So it was just not about using media or digital or offline to drive reach, but it was also about creating lifetime value of the consumer for the brand, and also looking at driving retention, right? And that was through a proprietary Epsilon tech platform. So Geo, right? You're seeing the disruption that is happening in this space. And that's the other last mile for us. So it's not just about media plan and integrating data with our media plans, but it's also looking at helping PharmEasy reach out to, or becoming another, geo ad like a platform, right? Reaching out to parallel clients like Abbott in the pharmacy space and helping sell retail advertising on their own platform, right? So this is something that we're doing, and helping our brands grow aggressively, and it is like a true full funnel is what I'm talking about. I spoke about how we can be human even in this age of data and digital transformation, and how we can create a better world. And the next case study to me is a true example of that, and this is from one of our clients, AB and Bev, and that the work that they did, during the pandemic.
Recorded nearly 315,000 new infections, a record number, the highest daily figure anywhere in the world.
Among the top 5 states which are seeing a worrying surge in COVID cases, Maharashtra has seen over 6,000 cases.
Essentially lost 25 patients just a few days ago because the oxygen supply ran out. And I started off.
We were not prepared.
Deaths hitting record highs, crematoriums.
That's it from me. Thank you. You can go back to your drinks and your food.